The Optibreed Sperm Quality Analyzer gives cattle breeders a rapid and objective way to evaluate bull semen. It provides you with the hard data needed to optimize breeding performance: total cell concentration, percent motility, motile cell concentration, and sperm quality index, a combined measure of male fertility. This durable computerized unit is also easy to use, as you'll see in the next few minutes. The Optibreed Sperm Quality Analyzer makes bull semen testing quick and easy. This video provides an overview of the equipment and supplies, how to set up, calibrate, and clean the unit, how to measure precise amounts of diluent and semen, and how to test samples. The directions are also provided in the Quick Start guides and user manual provided with each unit. First, let's look at the Optibreed equipment and supplies. Optibreed is a complete testing unit engineered to be suitable for lab and field use. The carrying case contains the Optibreed Sperm Quality Analyzer, power cord, and 2 pipettes. A separate box of test sets contains pipette tips, mixing cuvettes, test capillaries, a bottle of diluent solution, and an Optibreed iCard. You will also need to provide a supply of disposable, lint-free wipes. On the Optibreed console, you will find an optical chamber, display screen, keypad with status and charge indicator lights, a densimeter chamber, and the Optibreed iCard reader. On the back of the unit is a data connector for use with a separate computer. Before using the Optibreed unit, make sure its battery has been charged for at least 3 hours. The charge light remains on while the unit is plugged in. The battery level indicator is shown on the last line of the screen. When the battery icon is completely black, it is fully charged. The semen sample and testing materials need to stay warm during the testing process. Provide a source of heat capable of maintaining a temperature of 95 degrees Fahrenheit or 35 degrees Celsius, such as a slide warmer and water bath. If ambient temperatures are below 72 degrees Fahrenheit or 22 degrees Celsius, you should consider using a heat mat to keep the testing unit warm. If you are using the unit in temperatures below 60 degrees Fahrenheit or 15 degrees Celsius, use a heated environmental box to keep the testing unit and supplies warm. Here's how to set up, calibrate, and clean the Optibreed Sperm Quality Analyzer. Unpack the unit from its carrying case, inspect it for damage, and plug it in if you're using electrical power. If the unit has been in a hot or cold environment, let it sit for at least 30 minutes to reach room temperature. Avoid temperature extremes that can create condensation on the unit or cuvettes. Pre-warm the capillaries, cuvettes, and diluent on the slide warmer or heat mat. Position these materials near the Optibreed unit so items stay warm while being handled. The iCard authorizes the unit to test samples. You must first load test credits from the iCard to make the unit function. To load your test credits, select Read New Test Kit button from the utility menu and follow the screen instructions. Place the Optibreed iCard containing the I button over its reader, and the number of test kits in the box will download in less than 5 seconds. If the number of tests downloaded exceeds the number of tests you plan to use, the unused test will be saved in the unit's memory. After the unit reaches room temperature, calibrate the densimeter. Fill a cuvette with diluent, place it in the densimeter chamber, and close the lid. Select Blank Densimeter from the Utilities menu. Press Test to begin the densimeter calibration cycle. A progress bar shows that it is working. When the bar disappears, the unit is ready for use. The densimeter can be blanked at any time using this procedure. Blank the densimeter after the unit has been on for a long time, or if the environment's temperature has changed. To clean the densimeter, release the cuvette cradle by turning the hold-down screws counterclockwise until they are free. Pull the cradle straight up from the densimeter. Clean the glass windows on the inside of the cradle with a lint-free swab or wipe with isopropyl alcohol. Replace the cradle and retighten the screws. To clean the optical chamber, release the upper half of the chamber by turning the hold-down screws counterclockwise until they are free. Slide the block away from the unit toward its front edge. Clean the glass windows on the upper block and the small fiber optic pickups in the base block with a lint-free swab or wipe with isopropyl alcohol. Reassemble by sliding the upper block onto the lower block and retightening the screws. To measure diluent and semen, use the pipettes supplied with the unit. It is critical that you use the pipettes correctly to measure precise amounts of semen and diluent. Otherwise, your analysis may be inaccurate. Note the difference between the two pipettes provided with your Optibreed unit. The larger one is to measure milliliters. The smaller one is to measure microliters. To use the pipettes, first set the large one to the specified volume by turning the adjustment knob. Next, place a tip securely on the end. It must be tightly in place or the pipette will not measure the correct volume. Tips used to measure diluent can be reused, but tips used for semen must be discarded between samples. Hold the pipettes as shown, with your thumb on the plunger. On the small pipette, the small lever next to your thumb is the tip ejector. Depress the plunger to the first friction stop, but do not depress it beyond that point. Holding the pipette vertically, place the tip under the surface of the liquid about 1/8 of an inch. Slowly release the plunger to draw in the liquid. Withdraw the tip from the sample. To make sure a drop of semen does not adhere to the outside of the tip, touch it off on the container's inside wall. An extra drop can change the dilution ratio and make the test inaccurate. Also remove any excess semen on the outside of the tip with a clean, lint-free wipe, but avoid touching the tip's opening. Place the tip against the inside wall of the cuvette, then depress the plunger to the second friction stop to expel the liquid. Holding the plunger down, slide the tip out along the inside of the cuvette, then release the plunger. Do not insert the semen pipette tip into the diluent or swish the tip around. Between semen samples, discard the tip of the semen pipette. Do this by aiming the tip into a waste receptacle and pressing the tip ejector. Never reuse semen pipette tips. This can invalidate the test and contaminate the semen samples. Do not place the pipette on its side with fluid in the tip. It can run into the pipette shaft and cause contamination. The first step in testing is to assess total cell concentration. To assess TCC, you will prepare a dilution as directed on the Optibreed screen. Using the transfer pipette, place the correct amount of pre-warmed diluent into a warmed cuvette. Next, take the sample of semen and mix by swirling at least 5 times. Using the semen pipette, draw in the semen, making sure not to take in dirt, debris, or unliquefied seminal plasma. Deposit the semen in the cuvette, following the procedure shown earlier. Discard the semen pipette tip without reusing it. Place the cap on the cuvette and mix the sample. To mix, hold the cuvette by the top and bottom. Turn the cuvette from top to bottom 10 times, or until you have a well-mixed solution. Do not shake the cuvette because air bubbles may enter the mixture. If any contents leaked out during mixing, carefully clean the outside of the cuvette with a lint-free wipe. Do not rub or polish the cuvette. Place the cuvette into the densimeter chamber, making sure the arrow is pointing toward the keypad. Close the densimeter lid. Press test and wait for the result. The screen will also indicate whether you can continue testing with the dilution already prepared, or if it is necessary to change the dilution. Please follow the directions on the screen to adjust your dilution if needed. When you have prepared the correct dilution, you can test for other sperm qualities. Remix the prepared sample by inverting the cuvette 5 times while holding it by the top and bottom. Uncap the cuvette. With your other hand, grip the back part of the colored capillary tip with your thumb and forefinger. Squeeze the aspirator bulb and insert the tip into the cuvette. Tilt the cuvette so the sample reaches the tip of the capillary. Release the bulb to draw the sample into the capillary. Make sure all 3 optical ports are covered by semen. Do not proceed with testing if all 3 optical ports are not covered. This will lead to inaccurate results. Wipe the capillary, but avoid touching the tip and opening. Do not insert the capillary into the optical chamber if semen is on the capillary. Grip the capillary between thumb and forefinger where the aspirator bulb and capillary meet. Slide the capillary into the optical chamber with the recess facing up. Replace the cuvette cap. Place it again in the densimeter chamber, making sure the arrow is pointing toward the keypad. Close the densimeter lid, leave the optical chamber door open, press the test button, and wait for the results. In the AI bull and bull screening modes, the display will show total cell concentration, percent motility, motile cell concentration, and sperm quality index. In the process semen mode, the display will show motile cell concentration and sperm quality index. Remove and discard the cuvette and capillary and proceed with the next sample. You've just seen how to operate the Optibreed Sperm Quality Analyzer. To review, the key steps are: gather the equipment and supplies, set up, calibrate, and clean the unit, measure precise amounts of diluent and semen, and test samples. If you have any questions about these procedures, refer to the Quick Start Guides and User Manual. Your Alpharma representative is also available for training and consultation. Now that you've seen how easy it is to use the Optibreed Sperm Quality Analyzer, you're ready to enter a new era of quick, convenient, and objective bull fertility assessment. Thanks for watching.